How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another video. So today we're working on a Vauxhall Mokka. I thought I'd just do a little video and hopefully save you some money again. I've got to do on the other how-to videos. And this one's going to be how to do the front brakes. We're going to need a set of these. Got Delphi pads for this one. One set of shoes. No, nice set of pads. Plenty of chunk left on them. So obviously there's four, one for this side, two for this side, two for the other side. And then we've got a set of discs in here. It's mega heavy. Let's pull these open, hang on. Let's break these. On this model they're vented, some models are not. You've got vented brakes like so. And compared to the ones that are on the car, they're all scored up. Got a lip on them, they're all uneven, they're all up and down, they're a bit all over the place. So, I'll get the tools out I need for the job, I'll show you where to put the jack and stuff like that. And let's get started, shall we? Welcome in on car. So the first thing you're going to need is going to be to get these little covers off on your wheels. Now, a lot of Vauxhalls have got these. I use a pair of these, and I normally grip it around the edge like so. Give it a wiggle, and they normally pull off. They're not normally too bad to do. You're probably going to have a set of lock and wheel nuts sitting in there as well. This is the case that comes with the car from new. And this one's still got them. And you should have a lock and wheel like so. And that will go on the one that's just not a normal box. Them ones are not too bad to do. It's the one with the locker on that's normally the pain, which is this one. You normally need a little flat blade screwdriver. Just gently go down the edge of it. You just have to work it, start making it move out. They are a pain, but because of what they're made of, that's the only way to get them out. And basically that's just a little cap like so, that just covers that up. You get your lock and wheel nut, keep spinning around until you get it locked on, and then they're ready to take off. So let's find ourselves a jacking point and get this one in the air, shall we? Now, just under here, there is a jacking point, but we're not going to use that. I'm going to put it on the chassis so we don't scratch any of the paintwork around the jacking point and stuff like that. And that stops it in the future from getting any rust or anything like that. Quite heavy cars, so take a decent jack to jack them up. Obviously while you're doing this, and take the wheels off, you might as well check your tyres and stuff at the same time. And ideally this would have been good if the wheel had all been cleaned and brake cleaned down and stuff like that before we start the job, but This is how this one came in. Right, so it's in the air. I'll bring you over to show you where it is. If you look there underneath, I've just put it there on the chassis rail, whereas the jack and pointer's just under there. But definitely a lot better to put it there. Right, let's get these wheel nuts undone and get this wheel off. Okay, so I'm going to use my gun, but you can use a wheel brace or whatever you got. And they are 17 mil. All I do is I put them on the bottom of the jack there. Be nice with the one that's got the locker on it. And that's basically your wheel off, hopefully. So check your tyres as you take them off. This one is just off the limiters, basically needs a tyre. Very close. I will recommend to the customer that needs a tyre. Now obviously I've done these sort of brakes before, so I know what's what next. And obviously we need to take this caliper off here. And that will then release us to get to the carrier at the back. So this caliper here is going to be a 10mm socket. I've just got one on a heavy duty one here with a reducer. 10mm, and we'll undo these here. I have cracked them off just so I could obviously do the video, but I will bring you in and show you where they are in a sec. Bring you over, show you where they are. Okay, and then ones we're undoing right now are on the end of these where these rubbers are. There's one top and there's one down the bottom. Go to the end of it. You've got 10mm, under your 10mm. Should just wind out like so. And that's it. Put them aside. You'd have two 10mm like that. I've obviously got water all over the floor because this car's just come in and it was pouring with rain. But this caliper should start to come loose now. I'll try and film and take off at the same time for you. Basically you just get a little screwdriver like so. Just get it moving. Which it is now doing. Might be a little bit tight and rusty if it hasn't been greased recently. But obviously we'll do all that and make that all proper as we put it back together. You then wiggle that off. Inspect your seals all around your piston and stuff because they're very important. This one's looking okay. So we'll put that around the side there. Try not to let it hang if you can help it. Try and just sit it on the chassis there, but if that won't, just very gently let go of it. And that should hold okay in this rubber up the top here. If not, you can disconnect it out of here, pull it out of here. That'll give you a bit more length. And then put it on a block or something on the floor down the bottom there. So next, around the back here, just here where my finger is, they're now 18s on this carrier. There's another one just down the bottom here on this carrier. Basically undo them and that will set free to the carrier. So we'll do that next. Okay, so we're going in the back here to where the carrier is. And as you can see, just try not to give you shadows and what I'm actually trying to show you. This bolt here is the one you want. Get your 18mm on it. Now I've loosened this one off already because that's very tight and you need two hands to undo it. So the 18mm deep socket is the easiest way to get these off. You just keep going until it comes right out, and then further down in there is another one. As you can see, socket on there. and away you go again. I'll whip these out quickly and I'll show you what they're holding. Quite handy having a headlamp on your head to see what you're doing, because you haven't got to hold a torch or anything to get a light in the way of what you're actually doing. Spin out, they're basically 18mm bolts like so. Put them aside, remember what they're for. Same again up the top. And off comes your carrier. Your brake shoes are in your carrier. This one's about the same, they're about halfway worn down. They're not absolutely terrible, they would have gone another 6 months more than likely. That's not that's the problem, the disc is what the problem is. Right, take the other bolt out. So you put them aside so you know where they are. And your next thing is your little key in here that holds your disc on. It's a little star drive. I'll let you know what size that is in a sec. I'll just go and grab it. Put your carrier away. On your carrier, what you do need to check is just to make sure these are sliding in and out. As you can see, this one's seized. And that one's seized even more. That one's absolutely seized solid. Right, I'll show you how to do them in a minute. Let's get the disc out and we'll have to work on them in a sec, because they're clearly not working. Okay, so got my little spline set, and this is a T30. Basically just get it in the groove, line it all up. If you have to, tap it on a little bit if it's rusty, and undo it like that. If you really get one that won't come out, and that's really, really bad, you want a little blowtorch, little heat gun, just heat it up and you should be okay. If not, try some WD-40, stuff like that. But a lot of the time on the old Vauxhalls, if they've been looked after okay and everything's been looked after how it should have been, then they do wind out like so. And as you can see, it's been copper slipped in the past, which is why it wound out nicely. So a little wiggle on the disc, off come the disc. God, they weigh a ton, these discs. So we've got all unevenness inside it. What I was basically doing is going up and then in and then up and out again, if that makes sense. And then the front is even worse. It's basically just going like a wobble, 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 and you can actually hear it when you're braking. So that's a bit of a mess, that one. Get rid of that. Just grabbing the new disc. That's what a disc should look like. Nice flat surface. Line everything up. Obviously you've got to line it up to the one that's got your little key in it to hold it on. You can't just put it on any old where. It's got to go to where that one is. Get your little stud, work that back in. Reverse your ratchet. Be very nice with these and just wind it back in. Now obviously these have got a coating on from factory, but as soon as you start using your brakes and go down the road a little bit, within a few miles that will start to wear off and that'll be fine. If you've got cheaper brakes, say like you didn't spend out too much, you just got some cheaper ones, then there'll be like a grease coating on here, and if that's the case you get some brake cleaner, spray it all off, wipe it all off, get it all nice and clean. I'll do that at the end because obviously my greasy hands are touching these, so I'll clean it all up anyway at the end. That's on where we want it, which is all good. Weird how they move a little bit still even when they're tight. And then the next thing to do is sort out this system here. It's not good. That's not moving at all. They should be really free. And absolutely seized. That one I can get moving slightly, which is okay, but this one absolutely had it. So I'm going to grab a couple of tools and I'll show you what I do. Okay, so I'll grab myself some grease. Make sure you get the proper stuff for brakes. I'll grab myself a pair of grips. I'm going to grip onto here, lock it on, try and get it moving. Whew. Make sure it's locked on so you don't mess up any of the thread. Whew. Locked on. As you can see, it's starting to move. Okay, it needs to move a lot more than that. It needs to be absolutely free as possible. And at the moment I can hardly move it. I'm having to really force it. You just keep working it backwards and forwards like so until you get it moving. Oh God, this one is very, very tight. Right, not happy with that, so I'm going to pull the rubber forward. Yeah, as you can see, where I pulled the rubber forward, everything's really rusty and corroded and there's no grease or nothing in there, which is a really bad sign. So we're sort of just wrestling with these at the moment. Certainly not coming out yet. I left it to sit for 15 minutes as well. What I'm going to do is do that and I'm going to see if I can knock them out. Because otherwise it's just, your brakes are not really doing nothing, are they? As you can see, they're definitely seized. And that's on there tight as well. But this one seemed to have started moving. Yeah, here we go. This is what they're meant to do. I mean, to be able to just work them out. Now, it did have a bit of grease in the bottom, but it's pointless being in the bottom and not anywhere else, is it? So we've got one, but we've still got a seized one, so I'm going to have to do me stuff, keep going with it until you get them out. But if you can't get them out, you replace this carrier, because obviously they go across when you push your pedal and your brakes, and that's what push against your discs. They ain't much good if not, but if not, if you can get them out like so, you can give these a very light sand along the shaft of the body there, and then you want to grease it all up and make sure it just moves backwards and forwards nice and easy, nice and soft, and then that should work. Okay, so as you can see, these are now moving in and out side to side. Exactly how they should. But that just took me over an hour to get that all freed up and get that all cleaned out inside and to get it anywhere near like that. So if you're paying a garage to do it, that's an hour's labour, which could be, what, 90, £100. If you've got seized ones like that, you might as well just replace the part, because you can get this part for cheaper than that. But we've saved this one, that is a genuine part. So now let's get it back on the car. Okay, so at least we know why the disc was so warped, because obviously that was just hanging on and doing nothing. So I'll put the 18 mils back in at the back here. One at the top, one at the bottom, as we took them out. Get them in as thing as you can and get both hands on them and give them a good old pull down. Same down the bottom here as well. So they're on, nice. And then we want our new pads, one of each. And they'll obviously just sit straight in here, like so. Can be a pain to get in and out sometimes. They basically go like that. But what I'll do is I'll clean up in here with a little flat blade, like so. Just to make sure they're sliding, because obviously they were seized on the holder side of things, so all this rust and that on here needs to come off as well. Top and bottom. And you have to do the inside ones as well. Just going over these ones, I have actually done the back ones already, I've done them off camera. And I did actually go over them a little bit while they were on the bench over there, when I was just wiping it all down after cleaning all the rust out of the internals. So that's pretty good. So, bit of grease on the old screwdriver, smear it on the bottom and top. Copper slip is a good grease to that. Just basically helps the pads slide in and out nicely. Now what we'll probably have to do now is we'll probably have to wind this piston back. I'm just trying to be nice with the brake pipe. Sit it somewhere nicely like that, and we're probably going to have to wind this back, so I'll get the wind back tool and I'll show you how to do that bit as well. So this one hasn't got any dots inside, so you get your blank end, put that on the end of your tool, get your little buffing end, put that over the top and locate it into the piston with this on the other side there. And then basically you're trying to tighten everything up, like so. Now, if it's not seized, then that will wind in. Just bear with me, it's just getting everything tightened up, it's a bit loose. Alright, we're starting to tighten up. Now, if there's no problems with it, that will just wind back by hand, like this one is now, just winding straight in. So there's nothing wrong with the caliper. If you've got a really seized one, sometimes you can get a bar on there. Other times you can lift the rubber seal and do what I've done with the WD and just get a bit of movement going in there. But like I say, this one is actually, to my surprise, winding straight back in. And that's what you want. You want it to go all the way back in as far as possible, because obviously you won't be able to put this back over the top of your brake pads unless that's wound as far in as it possibly go. And then you just release it, wind it back so everything comes loose. Take it out of the way, chuck it in its box. And now it's a case of putting your pads in like I showed you a minute ago. Basically the easiest way to put your bottom in first, half poke it through, give it a little wiggle, pop your top in like that. Same on the back end, they're both the same pads, no different. Just obviously you can't see what you're doing around the back, hence why I use the old headlamp quite often. You just poke your head round, pop the bottom one in, sort of feel what you're doing from the top. Okay, so once you've got the pads in, on these you got one that's slightly a different shape to the other. if you look here, these have got points that stick out, and this one's got an inner cut out. This one with the cut out goes on the inside, the one with the pointy bits go on the outside, otherwise you won't get them in, they just don't go in. So next thing is to wind this over. You've got to push these in up the top here, make sure they're still good, which they are, they're moving lovely. 100% lovely jubbly. You just have to make sure that they're pushed in enough to get the caliper back on, which can be a little pain sometimes. Need to give it one a tap, it's got a lot of grease in so it keeps the pressure on it. No, it's still come back out already. Just a bit fiddly, but you will get it. It's not too crazy. And there you go. Get your 10 mils. And basically just wiggle them around until you locate where they go in the sliders there with the rubbers in there. Try not to obviously damage any of these rubbers or anything. Bottom one's always the one that need a wiggle. And obviously get your 10mm socket again. Get them done up. You want to nip them up, but don't go crazy and snap them off. Just nip them up so they're tight, not loose, obviously. Go in as far as you can with just your hand, because they go a long way in with just your hands. Yeah. And then you're basically there. It's all back together. Just make sure you've done up the two 10mm bolts, the two 18s in the back, the little key one in there. You're looking good. I'll spin the steering wheel straight again. That's where we are at the moment. Next job is to get yourself some good old cleaner. He says when my one might come out the bottle. Is it low? You've got to spray on one if possible, just so you can get in everywhere, but if not, do what I have to do and slap it around a bit. It's just basically getting the grease and that off the disc where you can. Obviously that's not, it's not going to go too crazy. That's a couple of breaks down the road and that'll be fine anyway, but that's what you want it to look like when it's all done. And then you can whack your wheel back on and away you go, basically. The outside is done. Same on the other side, and that'll be your front brakes done. If you do want to know about how to do the back, because the back are different brakes, then I'm going to be putting a video out after doing this video. So probably 2 or 3 days later, I'll have a video coming out for doing the back brakes. So I'm going to get the wheel back on, and that'll be this side all buttoned up. We'll do the other side off camera. I just want to show you this side, see if I can save you a bit of money yourselves, and hopefully that's done the job. Okay, so that's that all back together. It's literally just a case to put the wheel on, do your wheel nuts up, put your lock and wheel nut on, put your little plastic covers and all that back in, and away you go. I would recommend degreasing your whole alloy with some cleaner. To be fair, if you do that once a week, just clean all your wheels down, all your brakes down, through the wheel, obviously don't take the wheel off every week. Get some cleaner on them, you won't get these problems, the brakes won't seize up like that. The only thing that causes them to seize up like that is all the brake dust gets into everything, and eats all out the grease, pulls all the grease and everything out, and they start seizing up. You do that once a week or once every couple of weeks, couple of times a month. Give them a really good jet wash down, get some proper cleaner in there on the brakes. You never have them problems. You won't have to replace some brakes, they'll stay good. Obviously you can see why this one seized up and why that disc was literally, it was like that, all the way up. It was just completely out of shape because I had grabbed on the top one and obviously not on the bottom one, and that was pulling it out of shape. So it was, as you were driving along, it was just wearing down, just really gently, and you just hear a little scrape. And the hotter and hotter it gets, it pulls it all out of shape, makes it all distorted. And in the end, you have little brakes that go brrrr when you brake heavy. But this is going to cure all that. If you can't get through the bit, I'll show you in the video where I had to unseize them and everything. So just replace that part and know it's all good. But if you're confident enough to take it all apart and get that all free and get that going again, then away you go and you should be okay. So thanks for watching. I hope I've helped you out. I hope I've helped you fix your own car, saved you a bit of money, and I'll see you all soon in the next video. Like I say, I'll do the back brakes in 2 or 3 days time, so they'll be on there as well, and you should be able to look after your car yourself. So thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.